who's actually going to get the most out of a 13-inch DTF printer, and who would be better off putting their money toward a more conventional screen printer or a simple heat press setup. Is the Procolored K13 Lite worth the price tag for a small business owner who's just starting to offer custom apparel? Or will a hobbyist end up paying for features they'll never use? Those are the questions that keep most buyers up at night, because a misstep here can mean a whole lot of wasted ink, dead time, and a stack of unfinished orders. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started looking into DTF, direct-to-film, machines, the market felt like a maze of all-in-one bundles that promised instant profit, but left me wondering how much of the kit I'd actually need. The K13 Lite bundles a printer, a compact oven, and a heat press, which sounds perfect on paper, but the real test is whether those three pieces work together smoothly enough that you can move from a blank shirt to a finished product without spending hours troubleshooting. Let's talk about the day-to-day workflow. Imagine you've just received a bulk order for 50 varsity-style tees with a multicolored logo. You load the A3 film roll into the K13 Lite, hit the one-button start, and the machine handles the white ink circulation automatically. The LiteHead Technology, which is Procolored's take on a low-maintenance printhead, claims to reduce clogs and keep the colors sharp. In practice, that means you spend less time cleaning the head manually and more time feeding the next sheet through the oven. The built-in infrared Printhead SafeGuard system monitors temperature, so you get a warning before the head overheats. A small but useful safeguard if you're printing in a cramped studio. Now, who should really consider this bundle? Small-scale entrepreneurs who already have a heat press and just need a reliable printer to expand into DTF are the sweet spot. The system's auto-clean routine cuts down on the downtime that typically plagues entry-level DTF printers, and the white ink recirculation means you don't have to keep swapping cartridges when you shift from light to dark designs. If you're planning to produce school merch, local band tees, or limited-run art pieces, the 13-inch format gives you enough real estate to handle most A3 graphics without the bulk of a larger printer. On the other side, if you're a hobbyist who only prints a few dozen shirts a month, you might be better off with a cheaper desktop DTF printer or even a traditional screen printing kit. The K13 Lite's price includes the oven and press, which are great if you don't already own them, but they also add weight and footprint. For a home office or a garage setup where space is at a premium, the combined size can feel cramped. Additionally, the bundled oven operates at a fixed temperature range that works for most standard DTF films, but if you ever want to experiment with thicker or specialty films, you may hit the limits of that oven's capacity. A practical strength that stands out is the color fidelity. The professional color accuracy claim isn't just marketing jargon. The LiteHead heads are calibrated to handle a wide gamut, so gradients in a photorealistic design stay smooth, and solid colors stay vibrant after the transfer. I ran a quick test printing a high-contrast sports logo, and the colors on the final shirt matched the screen mock-up almost exactly, even after the heat press step. That level of consistency is crucial when you're charging premium prices for custom work. The weaknesses are a bit subtler. First, the printer relies on a single white ink reservoir that circulates continuously. If you run a long batch without checking the ink level, you can end up with a faint undercoat on the darker portions of a print. The system does warn you, but the alert comes only after a few sheets have already been printed, so you need to get into the habit of checking the ink level before a big run. Second, the one-button operation is convenient, but it also abstracts away some of the finer controls you might need for very niche projects like adjusting dot gain for a superfine line art piece. In those cases, you'll have to dip into the software settings, which can be a bit unintuitive if you're not used to DTF workflow software. Another point to consider is the ongoing cost of consumables. The DTF film rolls, transfer powder, and white ink all add up, and because the K13 Lite uses a proprietary white ink system, you're tied to Procolored's cartridges. That's not a deal-breaker, but it does mean you can't shop around for cheaper alternatives without risking print quality. For a business that aims to keep margins tight, budgeting for those recurring expenses is essential. If you're still on the fence, think about the hidden trade-offs. The bundled heat press is a solid entry-level unit, but it lacks some of the precision controls of higher-end models like exact pressure gauges or adjustable platen sizes. For most standard t-shirt transfers, that's fine, but if you want to work with thicker garments, hoodies, or even canvas prints,